Howdy, Math Cats. Horton here. So, you made it through COVID, you made it through the summer after Algebra 1, and here you are ready to solve equations. Okay? Maybe it's a little shaky, or maybe you've got it all down square. But I'm here to just review a few steps, okay, whenever you're solving multi-step equations. All right, I use something that I call the BAA, the Basic Answer Algebra. Basic Answer Algebra. Here are the steps. Step 1, you're going to get rid of parentheses by distributing. All right, so I've got 2x plus 3, distribute to the two terms, and you get 2x plus 6. Sound good? That's distributive property. You remember that from last year. All right, the second one is combine like terms. I've got 7x plus 3 plus 2x equals. I've got a 7x and a 7x. So what have I got to do? I have to combine those two. I have to combine them together. And I'm not going to try to zero it out. Don't make that mistake. That's wrong. You're on one side of equations. You're just combining them like they are integers. Okay? So that becomes 9x. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9x plus 3. Everybody see how this works? Awesome. All right, after you have done that, okay, after you've done that, you move this, you're going to do the skinny man to the fat man's house. All right, what that means is you're going to move, whenever you have variables on both sides of an equation, you're going to move the lower value over to the bigger value. All right, and that's a transformation. So what am I going to do? Let's say I have 7x plus 2 equals 4x, all right, plus, let's go 4x plus 5. All right, so what's the first thing I'm going to do? I got a 4x and a 7x. 4x is the skinny man, 7x is the big man. Fat man, skinny man. I'm going to move the skinny man to the fat man's house. Whenever I go across an equal sign, you do the opposite of what we have. So that gives me 3x plus 2 equals 5. All right, because that canceled out. Does everyone see how this works? Then what do? Well, after you've moved the variables to one side, you're going to move the constant to the other. Well, I've got a 2. What is a constant? Constant is any number that's not attached to a variable. Okay, 3x plus 2. 2 is the constant. All right? And in this case, the 2 is the constant, so I'm going to move it to the other side. That gives me 3x equals 5, and negative 2 is 3. And then finally, it's a one-step equation. Divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals 3 goes into 3 one time. All right, so that kind of is a quick review. But before I move on, all right, let me talk about it one more time, just so that we can review. So, whenever you're solving multi-step equations, step 1, distribute. Get rid of the parentheses, okay? So anytime you look at an equation, you're going to go down these 5 steps and ask, do I do this, do I do this, do I do this? Step 2, you're going to combine like terms, variables on the same side, okay? Treat them like integers and combine them together. Number 3, if I have variables on both sides of the equation, you're going to move the smaller value over to the other side. Okay, you're going to move the skinny man to the fat man's house. 4, now, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to move, if there's constants on this side, you're going to move it to the side opposite of your variable side. And finally, treat it like a one-step equation. So, what are some examples? Well, let's do some examples. We'll start off with an easy one. All right, so we're going to do an easy one, right? I have 2x plus 3 equals 15. 2x plus 3 equals 15. First thing you ask yourself, all right, are there any parentheses? No, don't need to do step 1. Second thing, do I have to combine any like terms? Do I have variables, more than one variable on this side? No. More than one constant? No. Don't have to combine anything. Third thing, are there variables on both sides of the equal sign in the equation? No, there's not. There's just a 2x on this side. Don't need to do that. So now what am I going to do? I've got to move the constant to the other side away from the variable. And you're going to transform that by doing the opposite. So positive 3, I'm going to make it a negative 3 underneath. Negative 3 using the subtraction property of equality. That cancels out. I get 2x, and 15 minus 3 is 12. Okay, now it's a one-step equation. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X equals 2 goes into 12 6 times, box around your final answer. That's not too tough, is it? That's your basic two-step equation. Man, they don't get too much more basic than that. Okay? Now, let's go and do something that's a little more advanced. I have 7x minus 4 minus 2x equals 6. That's a little trickier, but it's not hard. I'm looking at all this business. I just go down to the BAA and ask, do I do? So first of all, are there parentheses? Do I distribute? Nope. Second, are there any like terms to combine? I got a 7x and a negative 2x, right? So I've got to combine those two together. Now remember, you're going to be tempted maybe to put a plus 2x under here and a plus 2x under there. No, don't do that. If they're on the same side, you're just combining them like you're adding, subtracting integers. So positive 7x, negative 2x, positive 7, negative 2 is positive 5, so it gives me 5x. Bring down my negative 4 equals 6. Good so far. Yes? So now I have 5x minus 4 equals 6. Do I have variables on both sides? No, I don't, so I can skip that. Do I have constants on both sides? Yeah, so I'm just going to move that constant. Okay, opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. Positive 4 over here. I get 5x equals 10. And finally, it's a one-step equation. Divide by 5, divide by 5, and x equals 5 goes into 10, division 2 times. X equals 2. Now, if you're a righteous cat, you plug that 2 back in to make sure. 7 times 2 is 14 minus 4. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And then you would work it down. Make sure that the right side is equal to the left side. Okay. Now, let's go a little deeper, shall we? I'll turn the page and start with another one. All right, so here we go. And you know, when I'm working at Horton de Casa, I don't have my electronic board, so I got to use this old whiteboard. And that's okay. We can deal with it. Let's get a little trickier, shall we? All right, negative 2x. No, let's not do that. Let me rewrite that. Start it. Negative 2 parentheses 4x minus 3 in parentheses equals 10. All right, so once again, we're just going down the list of BAA, aren't we? Okay? Going down the list. So do we have parentheses? Oh, yes, we do. So we have to distribute. So I'm going to multiply negative 2 here and negative 2 here. Negative 2 times 4x is negative 8x. Negative times a positive is a negative. Negative 2 times negative 3, well, negative times a negative is a positive, so that gives me plus 6 equals 10. Once again, distribute. All right, now just go down the line. Do we have any like terms on either side? No, we don't. No like terms, only one x and one constant. Constant, by the way, is a number without a variable. All right, so next thing we do is we go to, do I have variables on both sides? No, I don't have variables on both sides, so I skip that step. Do I have constants on two different sides? Yes, I do. So I got to move this 6 away from the variable. So that gives me negative 6 underneath, negative 6 underneath. Now I have negative 8x equals, well, positive 10 and negative 6 is positive 4. Now it's a one-step equation, but wait, if I divide by negative 8, and I divide by negative 8, 8 doesn't go into 4 evenly. Oh, it's going to be a fraction. Those silly buggers, those fractions, we got to deal with them, but they're not too hard. So what do I have here? All right, first thing I ask is, will there be a number that'll go into 4 and 8? Well, 4 will go into both of them, right? Cancel that out, x equals. So I'm going to divide both these by 4, okay? 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 goes into negative 8 2 times, and since that's negative, I'm going to bring it out here, and I get x equals negative 1/2. Fractions, may went no problem, all right? So, that's how you deal with the old distributive. Let's keep going, shall we? Okay, so here I have something a little more difficult. 4 parentheses, 2x minus 11 in parentheses, minus 6x equals negative 3. A little tricky there, isn't it? Let's take a look here. Wait a minute, it looks like a whole bunch of gobbledygook, but that is not hard to solve. Just go through the BAA. Step 1, are there parentheses? So let's distribute, shall we? 4 times 2x, 4 times negative 11. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times negative 11 is negative 44. Bring down your negative 6x, and then your equals and your negative 3. Next step, do I have any like terms to combine? Oh, yeah, I've got an x here and an x here. Don't try to put a plus x under here. It don't work that way. You only do it when you go across an equal sign. So positive 8x and negative 6x, well, positive 8, negative 6 is positive 2x. Okay, we've canceled those two. Minus 44 equals negative 3. Good so far. Now, do I have variables on both sides? No, I don't have to move the skinny man to the fat man's house. Okay, number 4. Do we have constants on both sides? Yeah, I got to move the constant away from the variable. So I'm going to make that a plus 44 and a plus 44. Okay, that gives me 2x equals positive 41. Negative 3, positive 44 is positive 41. Well, now it's a one-step equation, right? Divide by 2, divide by 2. Uh-oh, 2 doesn't go into 41 evenly, does it? Well, let's see. What's the closest that 2 will go into? 2 will go into 40. All right. So I'm going to bring this down. Let's see. 2 will go into 40. So if I split this as 40 and 1, divide both of them. Well, 2 goes into 40 20 times. Got it? And also, 1 divided by 2 is basically 1/2. That would be one answer. You could also, if you needed to, sometimes it's best to just leave it, okay, as an improper fraction. So x equals 41 over 2. Usually your directions will tell you which answer they want. Everyone good so far? Take a look. Once again, distributive property. Combining like terms. Didn't have variables on both sides. Okay? Move the constant to the side opposite the variable. 2x equals 41 over 2. I either got 20 over 1/2 or I got x equals 41 over 2. And the reason it's 41 over 2 is because that won't reduce. Always reduce your fractions, even if they're improper. Okay, so we're moving right along here. Got a couple more, and then we'll be finished. Just wanted to review the old multi-step equations using Horton's BAA. BAA. Well, let's see. What do I have here? I got 2 more problems. Okay, so what do I have? I have 3 parentheses x minus 5 equals 2 parentheses x plus 5. Now, first thing you ask yourself when you got a big old nutty equation like this, well, use the BAA. Step 1, do I have parentheses? Yes, I do. I distribute. Okay, 3 times x, 3 times negative 5. So this becomes 3x, 3 times negative 5 is negative 15 equals. 2 times x is 2x, 2 times positive 5 is plus 10. Good so far. Step 2, do I have any like terms to combine? Do I have more than one x here or constant? Nope. Do I have more than one x or constant here? Nope. So then I go to step 3, the variables to one side. I got to move the skinny man to the fat man's house. Well, 2x is skinny, right? So I'm going to make that a negative 2x. Bring it over to the fat man's house. Okay, positive 3x, negative 2x gives me positive 1x. Minus 15 equals 10. Now, move the constants to the side opposite the variable. So basically, here's my x. So I'm going to move this 15 over. I'm going to do the opposite. Remember, you always do the opposite when you go across an equal sign. Plus 15, x equals 25. Boom, bada, bing. 10 plus 15 is 25. X equals 15. Not too bad. We got one more problem to do, and then I'm done. So, let me clean up a little bit. And, sorry that I'm using this old board here, but, I'm not at the office. I'm at Casa de Horton, and we're kind of low-tech at Casa de Horton. Here it goes. 2x plus 2, parentheses, x minus 4. You might want to be writing this down. Equals 2x plus 8. 2x plus 8. That's a whole bunch of business. Well, that looks like a whole lot. What do I do, Mr. Horton? It's simple. Use the BAA, basic answer algebra. All right? So here's how it works. Step 1, do I have any parentheses that I can distribute? Yes, I do. It's right here. Boom, bada, bing. I get 2x plus 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8 equals 2x plus 8. Good so far. We've taken care of our distributive property. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to combine like terms. Do I have any like terms? Yes, I do. I have a 2x here and a 2x here. So 2 plus 2 is 4x minus 8 equals 2x plus 8. Next thing I'm going to do, is variables to one side. Do I have variables on both sides of my equation? Yes, I do. I got to move the skinny man, this positive 2, to the fat man, this 4x's house. Always move the smaller value to the bigger value's house. How do I do that? I write a negative 2x under there because I'm going across a parentheses. That cancels out. I get positive 4x, negative 2x is positive 2x, minus 8 equals 8. Now, I've got to move step 4, the constant on the variable side, over to the other side. Okay? All right, so plus 8, and I get 2x equals 16. And now it's a one-step equation, the easy peasy part. Divide by 2, and x, 2 goes into 16 8 times. All right, so 2 times, and if you wanted to, you could basically take your 8, plug it in to all of them, work it down, and it should be equal on both sides. All right, so to wrap this up on multi-step equations, just remember Horton's old BAA steps, all right? Step 1, get rid of parentheses. Step 2, combine like terms on either side of the parentheses. On either side of the equal sign. Number 3, if you have variables on both sides of the equal signs, move the skinny man to the fat man's house. Take this lower value variable, move it to the bigger value variable. Okay? After that, you're going to basically move the constants away from the variable to the other side. And last but not least, it should be by then a one-step equation. You will solve it. If there's fractions, okay, then either leave it in an reduced improper fraction or you can make it a mixed number. All right? Okay, you guys have a great day. And do the worksheet, do the problems on the worksheet, and write down all of your work. You'll be turning it in later, so show your work whenever you work it down each step of the way. Bye-bye.